They were oil executives and school teachers. They were wrestlers and mortgage brokers. They were photographers, firefighters, and interior designers. They came from Boston, Brooklyn, Tulsa, Phoenix, and from points all around the country in pursuit of a dream. That dream was the daughter of immigrants who became a model, a singer, a MySpace celebrity, and a poet, and eventually a national heirloom.
Imagine all of us like an orange, and reality TV is just squeezing us, and everything that comes out, humanity.
When Tila Tequila appeared before the cameras for the first time, I would describe her as a thief and a robber, because she came along and she stole all of our hearts.
Her transformation abilities remind me so much of like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. You know, this butterfly that's just free. You know, her show was violent. There was so much violence and people attacking people, and that was okay.
Dating shows are important because people like me need to get on them.
A lot of us are weary of our real lives. We cannot control our reality, and therefore we crave some sort of God to come in and just make sense of it all. Enter Tila Tequila. Not 2016 Tila, that was, we're only talking about 2007 to 2012, right? Okay, good, yeah.
I mean, I know Tila has been criticised for her outlandish views, you know, but, you know, so has Walt Disney, so has the Pope, you know.
I'm here to talk about Tila Tequila in 2007 to 2009, the primo tequila years.
The game of love is played everywhere, in parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields. It follows the seasons, beginning each year with the fond expectancy of springtime and ending with the hard facts of autumn. This truth has never been more prevalent than in the American reality TV show A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, where the sport was elevated to a level of champions and the war between the sexes was personified and incarnate.
All right, so we got the opening to Shot of Love. We got 16 straight dudes coming in to, to go see her. She is on the balcony.
She's on a balcony, just like Juliet and Romeo and Juliet.
Some of the guys are just Romeoing their way up, right up there.
Where there's a whole bunch of these young males all climbing up towards Tila and beating their chests and, you know, grunting like gorillas, and she soothes them. And I feel that that was an example of the fetishization of young Asian women. And I would never do anything like that. If I were with Tila, I would treat her with the utmost respect.
As the series progressed, shock and awe were felt by all as the war between the genders was revealed in all its dramatic horror in the infamous pool party episode.
I mean, on one side you have the male sex, and on the other side you have the female sex, and they both want something. Sex.
So we got 16 women. They all come up in this pink convertible, but the twist was she's bisexual because, you know, back then, still wasn't okay to come out in Hollywood because, you know, it still doesn't even make sense. No one cares. No one cares now. No one cared then. It's not a big deal.
The upsetting thing about what these lesbians were told was that it was a lesbian show, when in actuality it was a bisexual show. So right there, that just split them in half, because some of them were just like, boys, ew, icky. And some of them were like, well, kind of not so icky. And Tila Tequila was like, why not both, you know? ¿Por qué no los dos?
But not all was peaceful, for the eve of battle was at hand. Two of the contestants struck blows as a cloud of conflict, a barrage of battle, a fray of fisticuffs. Marcus and Ashley, the Southern gentlemen, confronted one another in Tila's presence.
And I'll know, suspend your disbelief, the man's name is Ashley. I, as a Southern gentleman, can relate to another Southern gentleman named Ashley. They're getting a little dispute about who's gonna copulate with Tila Tequila.
It looked like two lions, you know, fighting for the best meat. I mean, we're talking like zebra meat. They're going for it. And may the best lion, you know, win that zebra. And now we're moving into the war against the Capulets and the Montagues. And what that brings, it doesn't bring peace, it brings war and greed, and someone could die.
Not since Muhammad Ali and Ali Frazier have we seen such passionate fighters fighting for what they care about. I mean, you know, Ali and Frazier were fighting for glory, and these other gentlemen were fighting who gets the first STD. Just like Gettysburg.
All right, so we got Rebecca, and she's, you know, comforting Tila Tequila. Everyone's outside fighting. She's like, Tila, oh, it's really bad here. Let me comfort you. And Tila's like, oh, thank you. You're going to be here for me. She's like, oh, I'll always be here for you. She takes the opportunity to kiss her. And I find it deplorable. It's disgusting. It's opportunistic. But I also respect it because I have no morals.
As another elimination round progressed, more contestants were lost, including important and charismatic figures, such as what's his name, who's their face, and that one woman who just quit and walked off the show. The next chapter of this epic saga would reveal that all the competitors would have to make the ultimate sacrifice, requiring all 17 of them to sleep in the same bed.
When I saw 17 in a bed, it reminded me of a war zone. It was brutality.
It was a force to be reckoned with, like a pillow to the face. That Tila Tequila was here to stay. You can sleep in the same bed, but you will fight for that bed. And as they flung forward, pulling up that giant pillow, it looked just like the raising of the flag in Iwo Jima. I mean, of course, all those people are dead right now.
When Tila came in to the war zone, it was amazing. It was very empowering to see. It was like seeing a leader walk into a room and having that presence. It's like she was holding the American flag for her people. It reminded me of Margaret Thatcher or Mussolini.
I got to give kudos to Tila in this moment because she is on top of it. That's the sign of a good leader who can bring the troops down. Granted, she's trying to have sex with all her troops, so it's a little weird.
But little to Tila's knowledge, Rebecca has actually slept with another contestant. And so I felt very sorry for Tila because I felt like Rebecca was her competition.
There's something almost Shakespearean about that betrayal of trust when Tila found out that Rebecca was going behind her back and hooking up with the guys. You know, I thought that was really heartbreaking. And not only was she stabbed in the back, but it was done, you know, with the cameras rolling. And so that's not an easy situation to deal with. I know that when my wife left me, you know, I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah.
Tila Tequila has her biathlon, in which the contestants have to carry a sex doll, an inflatable sex doll, and they got to go up a hill, which is probably the first time they've ever done that.
It was jaw-dropping. It was mind-blowing. It's something I'd never seen before. I can almost compare it to like the first Olympics in Greece. We haven't seen anything like this. Blow-up dolls. It was like Neil Armstrong going to the moon. Can you imagine having a blow-up doll with Neil Armstrong? I mean, the sights that people would have seen. Is it Neil? Is it the blow-up doll? We don't know. We don't know who blew the trumpet first. So when Ashley, the Southern gentleman, attacked Bobby, I couldn't believe it. I mean, of all people, you know, he was no longer a gentleman. And, you know, he was attacking and he felt like his heart was stolen and he wanted to stop the steal.
It was very heartbreaking when Tila eliminated the one Southern gentleman, Ashley, who, at true Southern gentleman behavior, started screaming and yelling and starting fights and was becoming belligerent, and security had to escort him out, and he was crying and yelling and screaming Tequila's name outside the mansion. "A la Tennessee Williams, a streetcar named Desire." I mean, it was just poetry. As a Southern boy, I couldn't have been prouder. Well, I mean, not like the South Rise Again proud. That's not the South I teach. That's We don't talk about 2016 Tila Tequila.
So Bobby gets injured. They got to call the ambulance. Boo-hoo, Bobby. All crocodile tears. Anyway, Tila goes to visit Bobby in the hospital. It's kind of like that. So they start to, get closer. They start to bond over his misery.
But while one threat seemed to leave the house, a more ominous threat seemed to arise in the distance.
Vanessa gets all upset and angry, and she starts throwing alcohol around, which is just complete alcohol abuse. But this is actually the brilliance of Tila Tequila, because in a way, she is rebelling against the male gaze. I mean, that's what I saw with my gaze. That
She was throwing alcohol at these contestants, and it was very telling because the woman she loves is called Tequila.
the Civil War was brother fighting against brother, and a shot of love with Tila Tequila was sister fighting against sister, as was seen when Vanessa so rudely smashed Brandy's head on the floor.
I recognize that, right? I'm talking about me. Dear God, I sleep in garbage. Anyway, this wasn't okay, but it happened, and everyone was just like, oh, I want to see some drama. And we watched that level of drama start to fuel and inspire other shows, especially around that VH1 time, especially the MTV world, getting that information to the younger people, that it's important when you have disagreements to fight violently and then to put it on some form of platform that everybody could see. And when social media came out, they took the message quite well.
Through a series of arduous twists and turns, America was enraptured by love's labors lost in a mansion high above Beverly Hills. One seminal work of 2007 poetry that best encapsulates it is by the lyricist Flavor Flav. We like those gangster rhymes. Just make sure they don't corrupt our minds. These rappers kill and thieve. A lot of times, it's only make-believe. In the season finale, two contestants remain standing, Bobby and Danny.
It's between Bobby, Danny, Bobby. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Bobby. So she picks Bobby, and then Danny's there, and not feeling super great. And what does Tila decide to do? Just go at it with Bobby right in front of Danny. And Danny's just like, I was kind of falling for you. This is really hurtful. Kind of just like walks away awkwardly. Stops at like a vending machine. Comes back just to check and they're still going at it, then walks away again.
I just saw Danny just sliver away like a deflated balloon, like a deflated blow-up sex doll. Just nothing left. The air literally gone.
What could she have done if she lived past 2016? A lot, probably. It's a shame, really. Anytime this country gives us something pure and beautiful, we just have to cancel it.
Tila Tequila is like a butterfly. She started as a cocoon when her parents did it. And then she ended up becoming like a little caterpillar with MySpace. And then she turned into a butterfly with a shot at love. And, I really didn't follow her career after that, so I assume she's doing well.
Influential figure in television. I mean, if there hadn't been a Tila Tequila show, there wouldn't have been, so many other shows like,